Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros. It's a celebration week for us. Tyler is donning the Franco's Italian Army hard hat because the Steelers were victorious against the Rams.
You just called me Tyler.
Did I call you Tyler?
Yeah, you just called me Tyler.
Holy crap. Well, it's Tim. It's not Tyler. It's Tim. I've been seeing a lot of Tyler lately.
I don't know what producer T does anymore. Does he do anything?
No, he is worried. He's getting ready to have a baby. So his mind
no
is
excuse.
elsewhere.
It's football season.
That's true. He's got to prioritize. You're right. So the Steelers are fresh off a victory, beating the Rams 24-17. Tim, I know you did not call the Steelers to win, but this Yinzer Bro did. I'm a true fan. I called them to win. In fact, I almost got the score right. I said it was going to be 24-7 or 10. I think, and it was 24-17.
Have you picked against the Steelers in 3 years of us doing this podcast?
Well, yeah, I have, in 3 years I have, but not this week.
I don't know if you have in 3 years.
I'm a true fan.
Okay.
How does it feel to know you picked against your Steelers and they won?
TJ, I was miserable watching that game. Absolutely miserable.
It was tough.
TJ, I want to just go down there and just like, hey, what do you guys do to me? You know, I was shirtless, standing up for a quarter and a half of that game. I didn't eat dinner Sunday night with my family. I actually wouldn't let them back in the living room because when they left, the Steelers started winning. That's how bad it is. It's a miserable watch for me. It's like this every week.
We all have to do our part, Tim. We all have to do our. You did your part. We all have to do our part. I mean, with the win, that brings the Steelers to 4-2. Who would have thought that, Tim? Especially with our Matt Canada-driven offense.
TJ,
but yet here we are.
It's like we're picking up rocks, and we're just throwing them, and somehow they're striking people. I have no idea what's going on.
I don't either. It's working. So give me some of your impressions general impressions about the game. The Steelers are not traditionally great against West Coast offense teams, but they did pretty darn good against the Rams.
I don't understand why every team that we haven't played, for some god-awful apparent reason, they just stop attempting to run the ball, even though they're running it at 8 yards a clip.
Don't know.
I don't if I was a team, I wouldn't even pass. I would just run it down their throats the whole time. I don't get it. Don't get it at all. Their defense is not good, TJ. It just isn't. They got very lucky.
Well, I wouldn't just say that. I think they're just. So if you look at their defense right now, they're ranked third in takeaways, which is great. Takeaways are the great equalizer.
In general defense.
You're talking about yards. I get that, but yards and scoring. But they're winning games, so they're taking the ball away when they need to, which is good. But their defense. T.J. Watt comes up big. He did great. I thought they had a pretty solid showing, and I think it could have been even better. Even from an offensive perspective. I'm sorry, those taunting calls. I see Pickens. They could have 3 of those. What does the NFL come to?
TJ, that dude is, as I called it the day he was drafted. There is an hourglass on him, and the sand is starting to run. When he gets money, gonna be bad news, buddy. Bad news.
You got to nip it in the bud now. So what did you think of Kenny this game?
I don't understand him, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand why it has to take to the fourth quarter for him to. It's like a different human playing quarterback. I don't get it. I've never seen it. Again, I think I said it last pod. The closest thing that I've seen to this is it's Tim Tebow, and that scares the hell out of me.
But he's a better passer than Tim Tebow.
I agree, but it's just the concept of it. I just don't.
I don't
get it.
So there is something, and this is interesting too. I think it would have even better stats. There were some just janky calls, man. That one where they called that the thing on Pickens in the first quarter or in the first half, that was ridiculous. His back's to the dude, and they called it like a block down. It's just that stuff's ridiculous. I think they could have been even better, but I'll tell you what, maybe he's starting to figure out his groove. And I'll tell you what, Deontay is a
TJ,
big difference.
what exactly is his groove? I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out what his groove is for a year now. I don't understand his groove.
I think, well, like, for example, he does a lot of those back shoulder throws, which is not easy. I mean, especially in the NFL, you get maybe a couple of those a game. But man, he seems like he's starting to settle in. I want to know what he could do in like a real NFL offense. You take a Kenny Pickett and you put him like with the 49ers. What does he look like with the 49ers?
I don't know. I mean, he's going to be better than Brock Purdy in the fourth quarter because I've seen that dude collapse past 2 games in the fourth quarter. But
I tell you
I
what,
didn't
it's
collapse.
you,
His kicker missed a field goal, but yet last week it was bad.
you
But
take weapons away. I mean, you throw a 7 yard pass to Debo Samuel. I'm sorry, so he runs 48 yards. Most of the West Coast offense, he's not chucking the ball down the field, 30, 40 yards. That's just not how it's built.
I don't
So
know. I don't.
I mean,
I
this
don't.
is our thing. So I mean, we beat the Rams weren't great, but they're not a slouch team either. And I think they're a test for us from a West Coast thing. But we come out of it and we're 4-2, which is really, I think it positions us pretty well. And we've got 2 wins in our division already, which is insane to think about.
I
So
agree. I don't know how they're 2-0 in the division. I no clue. I don't even want any
may,
games, truthfully.
yeah, maybe they're piecing stuff together after the bye. I don't know, but let's hope that it does. We have now as we start to we have another challenge in front of us this week with the Jaguars. The Steelers have traditionally not really been good against the Jags. I don't think ever, at least under
I don't
Tomlin.
remember.
They
I
haven't
don't.
been.
I don't remember the last time they actually beat the Jaguars.
They faced them in the playoffs, and it was heartbreaking. And we'll break down that in a second. But before we do, let's take a peek into the Yinzer mailbag. What is the Yinzer mailbag? It's when you, the fans, get to ask us, the Yinzer Bros, anything you want, and we're here to kind of give you all of our knowledge and stuff like that. So, Tim, let's open up the Yinzer mailbag.
All right, I got some stuff from the mush. I guess his first question. He's looking forward. I will be seeing the mush tomorrow at the Pitt Notre Dame game
Oh
again.
my, that's right. That's a big day.
If somehow Pitt wins that game, and if it's in dramatic fashion, like heartbreaking fashion for Notre Dame, they may bury my body somewhere underneath touchdown Jesus, because that's maybe where I want to lay for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I just want to see if I get a chance to see so many sad Notre Dame fans faces tomorrow. I may be the happiest kid on the planet. I may sacrifice Steeler loss if I left there seeing sad faces from Notre Dame everywhere.
So, are you going to do anything spectacular if Pitt does win? I mean, let's put it on the line right now, Tim. What will you do if Pitt wins?
TJ, I'm like 20 rows from the field. The thing that I don't know, Mush got me these tickets. I could be sitting square dag in the middle of the Notre Dame student section for all I know. I have no idea. If they did win the game, I don't want to be in that Notre Dame jail for a period of time.
Are you going to go shirtless, Tim, if they win?
My back is looking really rough for me to be shirtless right
Yeah,
now.
but so then
Possibly.
it's more of a deterrent. If you go shirtless and you got a nasty back, hairy back, nobody's going to touch you. Tim, let's commit now. Will you go shirtless if the Pitt Panthers beat Notre Dame
In the stadium? We're talking in stadium?
in the stadium? I'm talking about we have to have picture evidence. So you taking a picture, you shirtless if they win.
They may be using that picture to be like Bigfoot was sitting there at Notre Dame Stadium.
I want to know, are you that committed? Let's see how committed you are.
It depends what the fashion win
No,
is.
no, no. It's a straight up win or loss.
Like if the bum quarterback that they bench catches the winning touchdown at tight end, Harris will be shirtless.
I want to know, if they win, will you be shirtless?
I can't commit to that.
You're all
Put it this
talk.
way. Yeah, that's tough.
The fans want to know, Tim. They want to know. They want to see how committed you are to this.
Well, there will be
All you gotta do is say yes, Tim.
possibly.
We'll take that as a yes. Tim will be shirtless.
We'll
if they
see.
win.
We'll see what type of liquid courage I have. Possibly.
Uh,
So his question. Here's a good one. Do you think Coach T put Trevor Lawrence's comments about the gold towel on the bulletin board this week?
heck yeah. Are you kidding me? He's looking for anything to motivate his guys. He's probably, he's probably not only doing that, he's probably talking about the battle of the long-haired QBs.
I think
He's
there
like,
should
you
be
know what? Our
a
guy's
cut.
better hair than
I
your
think
hair.
there should be a cut your hair sunshine game. Whoever
That
loses, you got to get their hair trimmed.
that would be funny. I'll tell you what, because those guys both have. You talk about. I'd love to know what their hair products are.
I haven't. All right. He goes halfway through the season. What's our biggest pleasant surprise and our biggest disappointment?
Pleasant surprise halfway through the season. I would say for me, I like that. I like that Keanu Benton. I think he's been a really solid dude. He stepped up. I think in the absence of Cam.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be decent in the rotation, but I didn't expect him to be this good. I think he'd be great. My biggest disappointment right now is Fryermuth. He can't stay on the field, and he's not even part of the offense. What's yours?
Okay. Biggest surprise. I will say after halfway point, how it started and how they've been playing, their middle linebackers are light years better than last year. And from the first game, the first couple games to now, light difference. I mean, just difference. So
That
I will
Holcomb,
say
that he's not too bad, even though he's got that
bad.
mullet. He's not bad.
He's not bad. So I'd say their linebackers are the surprise. My disappointment, it's going to be Kenny. I'm still going to be Kenny. He's not looked good. From that preseason, I thought he was going to take the next step to be like a top 10 quarterback, and he is just far, far from it. So, it's for me, it's Kenny, man. The tight ends have been terrible, but I just don't know. Even when Freiermuth was healthy, he was getting 3 passes a game.
Yeah.
So to me, it's
You know what else has
been good.
You know what else has been impressive to me too has been, and this is from last year. This year, I think they did a good job. They've got much better outside linebacker depth this year too. I'm impressed with that.
I will. Let me take a step back from Kenny's up now. No, it isn't Kenny. It's Levi Wallace and that crew.
Oh, he stinks.
That dude
He
stinks. I don't even know how he's on the field. He is terrible at football. Him and Peterson are stealing money. As another heard guy, they're stealing money. That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
Because
you're
Peterson
right.
hasn't been any better either.
No, they stink.
Wallace is, every time I see him, he is numero uno right now on the list. And I want to say something about that. Some infringement. There's some dude. I'm the list guy.
I saw that. Some guy on Twitter took your whole thing about the list.
I mean, couldn't
We should sue
believe it.
Tim. Did you trademark the list?
I didn't trademark the list, or I'd probably be getting sued
you
from
gotta-
somebody else that I stole it from.
You
But
pro-
he took my
Probably.
idea.
He did. He took it.
That's a lot of the mush. Let's see what else we got here. Do you see the Steelers making a trade during the trade deadline or making a move somewhere?
God, I hope they do. I mean,
Where?
there's some guys that are out there. I'd love to see it. I mean, they ain't going to happen. What's all this stuff about? How are we the number one in the league to pick up DeAndre Hopkins? How does that happen?
I could use a third. I could use a third body. You pair him
Well,
with.
you can, but that's just out of left field. I think they should pick up that cornerback from. I mean, if they can figure it out from the Broncos, if they can get him for like a.
You think, TJ? He's
Well, they proved
at this point in
They
time.
can't draft
I hope they
one,
pick
so you might
me
as
or
well pick
you
one
up out there, throw us out on the island.
So what would you give? What would you give up for him? Is that Surtain? Is that who we're talking about?
He's very good. Here's a difference with him. It's not like Minka, where you got Minka, and I think you had like 2 or 3 years left on his deal. I think this dude is either up next year for his deal, so you're gonna have to pay him. I would give up I don't know if I give up a first, but I would damn sure think about a second round pick because on that you could ink him. You can get if you sign him, you're not going to worry about cornerback in the draft next year, and you're set with your 2 corners for the next 10 years.
Yeah, because he's young. Isn't he like 23 or something? 24?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good. The only other dude that I could possibly think of them trying to snag up, he's been hurt a lot, is J.C. Horn from Carolina. He's younger. He was like a top 10 pick. He's not bad, but he's just hurt all the time. But I think they can get him cheaper, maybe somewhere on a 4 or 5. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But they need corner help. I'm not opposed to the tight end thingy. I'm not tight end, but the wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins or somebody. Because I still think Allen Robinson like moves like he's in sand.
Yeah.
So if you brought in another receiver, say you did bring Hopkins in, man, you throw him on the outside, him and Pickett's on the outside, and you have Deontay running the slot.
That's scary.
I like that. But they got to do something, man. I wouldn't mind see one of those two things kind of would be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. I'd say wide receiver or defensive back would just be. They need.
I
Somebody to
think they
step
need a
in.
D back. If they can find a D back, I think that'd be great. And I pray to God that stinking Henry doesn't go to the Ravens.
Um, wouldn't be good, but I
No,
wouldn't. It wouldn't bug me at all. I don't.
no.
It is what I mean. He is what he is. It is.
Would you trade up Henry straight up for Najee?
No. Uh, no. Henry's probably got like a year or two left.
Yeah, he's a
I
big.
think if
He's a
Najee
lot
gets
of tread
behind
on the
him,
tires.
but I think if Najee gets behind an offensive coordinator that knows what the hell they're doing, I think Najee's going to be pretty fine. I think he's going to be all right.
Yeah.
So no, to me, Henry he's too old, man. No, not on running back. No, not at
Gosh,
all.
he's a horse. It looks like
He's a horse.
he was made almost for black and gold, wasn't he? Though.
He's
He's a
yeah.
horse. He's a horse.
All right, next question. What happened to our tight ends? I don't get it, dude. You got a dude that's like they were in the red zone so many times. I know they scored all the time when they ended by running, but I'm sitting there, I'm going like, will you throw it to 80? He's 600.
Yeah,
Just
he's
throw it
big.
up and it's not a risque pass.
No.
If you throw it up high, it's either going to be him catching it or it's going to go out of bounds.
Yeah.
Why aren't
He's a
you
freak.
using it?
He is. I'll tell you what. He is fun to watch blocking, though. Golly, does he maul people?
But you know when it's going to be like when they're passing because Connor Hayward's in. They take
Yeah.
him out. I'm like, why don't is his hands that bad? Does
No,
he
he
have
looked like
paddles?
he was decent. He doesn't look like he's a good route runner, but he's. I mean, you don't have
I
to be
don't.
if you're
What
6'8".
do you have to be again? What do you have to be a good route runner if you're that big? Box somebody out. Turn
I
around and
agree.
just box somebody
I
out.
agree. I'm with you.
I mean, he has to have hands like who was super Ebron. If he has, I mean, if he's got Ebron hands, I
No, he
mean,
was bad. No, he looks like he can catch. I think they just need to work on his route running. And then I mean, is Fryermuth ever going to be healthy?
I don't
He was
know,
concussed
man.
half last year. Now he's got a bad hammy. You know what? Penn State.
I can't say that. I'm not going to say that because I mean, what about Joey Porter
Well,
Jr.?
junior so far he's okay, but Penn State. Nate, tell me another. I mean, another great tight end we got from Penn State.
Mark Bruner
No,
wasn't Bruner from Penn State though?
I think Bruner was from. Well, he may have been Penn State too. Tell me another one that had the most controversial Penn State tight end drop in the history of mankind with the Patriots. Remember? Don't you remember any of that stuff?
Oh, what's his name? No, he didn't play at Penn State.
Was he a Penn State guy?
I don't think so.
I think he was.
No, I think he was a Minnesota guy.
That could be Minnesota, Penn State. Those big
I,
Big Ten teams.
I'm not gonna. I mean, hate on. We had some pretty good people from Penn State on the Steelers. Franco Harris was from Penn State, right? Correct. Correct.
He was.
Amundo.
Yeah, he was a Penn Stater. Yeah.
I mean, Jack Ham was from Penn State. Correct. Amundo.
Well, we're talking that's like 50 years ago, Tim.
If you want to say Notre Dame, cool. I get it. We had one player from Notre Dame, but we didn't draft
Hey,
him from Notre
hey,
Dame.
we had some decent Notre Dame guys too, didn't we?
We had
Get
one,
on the bus. Get on the bus.
one, but we didn't draft him.
No, but he's from Notre Dame,
But we didn't draft him.
and they had some decent ones, like
Draftable
cool,
Notre Dame players.
like Joe Montana wasn't too bad.
Draft. You know why he was? Well, you know why he wasn't too bad?
West Coast offense, and he's from
No.
Pittsburgh.
He has Western Pennsylvania blood. He was
He
drinking
does.
the water. He was
get
drinking
it.
the same water as number 97.
Well, I'll tell you what, boy, Aaron Donald was, he was. I mean, you heard his name a few times, but he was who he was. I got one other thing I can get off my chest too. How
You know
on
why?
earth?
You know why Aaron Donald was like that? Because he knows I can hear he's in the background right now going, "Get me out of here! I want to be in Pittsburgh. I want to be in Pittsburgh."
Oh, that would be great. Now I know Garrett had a good game this game. How on earth this whole like rating system? How does he get points for like almost great plays? What is up with that? It's ridiculous.
That will all play itself out. He'll be hurt. He'll be hurt in 2 weeks.
It's just ridiculous.
He gets hurt every year. It'll
I just
play itself
what
out.
I don't understand like this whole grading system. It's like he can do no wrong. It's unbelievable to me.
He's
Keep
a-
going. I'm sorry.
I
I
don't get it. I don't get it.
digress.
No, I get it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all.
Okay.
That was all. That was all in the Yinzer mailbag.
So cool. So if you got any questions or any comments you'd like to send us, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. And again, if you're lucky enough, you'll get on our international podcast.
I
Let's
I
talk.
am surprised when I was talking with Notre Dame people, you didn't throw out Rocky Blyer. I mean,
Oh, that's true. Hey,
I did
Rocky's
get.
another one.
I said some bad things about Rocky, and I got crushed for it. So I do
Yeah,
apologize. Nothing bad
you
about
can't touch
Rocky.
Rocky. That's he, dude. Not only was he a great Steeler, but he's a true American hero.
I'm an American
Tim, what's
hero
wrong with
too.
you?
I'm an American hero.
That's a Trump move, Tim. What's wrong with you?
I'm an American hero.
Yeah, sure you are. That's another Trump move. Tim, you're 2 for 2. Holy crap, Tim. So let's focus. Let's pull the plane up. Let's focus on the Jags. Now the Jags are not slouches. They're 5-2. Their division stinks. Let's just say that their division is bad.
It is
They're
bad.
the top of the mighty AFC South. They've got their wins. They beat the Falcons, the Bills, which is impressive. Bills are having a down thing. They beat the mighty Colts twice and the Saints, but they lost. They lost to the Chiefs, and then they lost to the Texans. Now, here's my question about the Texans: are they better than people thought they'd be this year?
Of course. Are you kidding me?
There we go.
I think the Texans are going to win 2 games this year.
I know. So they're doing pretty good. So when you think of when you think of the Jags, I mean, you got to think of Trevor Lawrence, but in the hair. But what's your first impression of the team, Tim?
I just can't. Every time I think of him, like again, like you said, and Trevor, all I keep thinking about is his hair. It's all I keep thinking about is Trevor Lawrence's hair. It's it. That's the only thing that crosses my mind. His hair, his hair, his hair, his hair flowing in the wind. His hair, this flip he does with his helmet. That's all I can think of.
Let's be real. He's got a pretty prominent nose too, doesn't he?
Dude, quarterbacks like that shouldn't be. They're never going to win Super Bowl. As long as his hair's that long, he'll never win Super Bowl. Guarantee it.
Yeah,
Guarantee
you could be right. You could be right.
Name me one quarterback ever that's won a Super Bowl with hair like that.
I can't think of any right now.
There isn't. Don't worry. You can go back to the annals of time. There isn't.
There's none, huh?
None.
I can't think of any that have had hair like that.
I think their offense is good. I still like their coach Peterson. I know he's a good coach, but every time I think of him, like I keep thinking like there's a brain cloud up above him, and it's just like meat and potatoes. Their running back that was picked 5 picks after us, a lot better than our running back that was picked 5 picks ahead of him, because their running back looks like has jet packs when he gets through a hole, and ours looks like it has me or you on his back as he's running through the hole.
Well, he's just got to hit the holes. If he hits the holes, he's fine. He picks. He don't have.
I can't even pronounce his name. Entity.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his speed. It gets me nervous because like our secondary stinks so bad. Like I saw that they were in the practice. They had like 2 guys off the guy that they just picked up off the scrap heap was running with the ones, and some guy named Rico Coco or something I never heard in my life. He was running with the ones. I'm going. Gets me nervous because they got a pretty good receiving core. I don't know. They're blah. To me, their offense is good. Their defense is. I can name one player on their defense. I don't know, but that's the same crap last time when they played them 2 times. When we thought that was the AB years when they were all good, and we got our doors blown off by Blake Bortles both times. So I have no idea.
Well, you got to remember those games too. Ben threw like 4 and 5 interceptions. Those are not his best outings.
You think, okay. Oh, okay. I'm not even going to go there. You think the Golden Launch quarterback we had doesn't have a 3 or 4 interception performance?
Oh, he could. So statistically, the Jags offense is middle of the pack. Defense is lower end. Their pass defense is bad. They got horses up front. So I mean, they're not. I don't think we know how good they are yet because their division really is not that good. Every time I think of their coach Peterson, I think of the Eagles. How do you take a team to the Super Bowl and then like 3 years later, you're not there anymore?
That's Philly for you, dude.
That's ridiculous. They booed Santa Claus.
Philly's the same city that got rid of Andy Reid.
That's true. It's nuts.
I mean,
absolutely, it's crazy. He's a national treasure, by the way. So let's talk about the game. Again, Steelers, they're coming off a great win. When you look at the Steelers offense, what does the offense need to do to win this game? Now it is, they're pretty big up front, and they're only giving up like, I want to say 80 yards a game rushing. So their rushing defense is pretty decent. So, what do you think the Steelers need to do to beat these guys from an offensive perspective?
I mean, TJ, this is like I text you during the game. This is the same crap I've said for the past 3 years over and over and over. They need to score more than 24 points. That's where they have to be. That's the magical number is 24.
Hmm.
So what do I need them to do? I need them to get a first down, you know, before halftime. That's one. They need to have some type of running game. And they need to have. I would like to see them start like maybe trying to do some play action.
Yeah.
Maybe I heard stats that they have actually only called like 5 play action passes the whole entire year, which is
Yeah.
a unbelievable stat. I
Yeah.
mean that's insane, TJ. It's week 8. That's
Canada's just
insane.
not. He's just not good.
So they got to establish some type of
What, do,
run.
do you think now, knowing how weak the Jacksonville pass defense is, now
I
they're good
don't
at
know, man.
takeaways. Do you think you give Kenny the green light this week?
One thing gets me nervous is I know that Jacksonville was saying something about Pickens, and then Pickens snapped back and calling them. I forget what he said. Called it something about they are. I forget, loose or something of the sort. I don't know what
I
he called their
think he used the
secondary.
word hope. Their defense
Hope,
is built on hope.
hope. That gets me nervous because that tells me that they're already in Pickens' head, and that dude, that hourglass just seems like it's getting faster and faster. The sand. So that gets me a little nervous that he's kind of seeing Deontay miss yesterday practice. I know he practiced today. That gets me a little nervous too. Um, I just think when they started running the ball a little bit against the Rams, that's when it opened up a lot more of the pass. So can you give Kenny the green light? I don't trust him enough to get into the green light anymore because I think he's going to turn the ball over.
Well, Tim, that's not very hopeful.
Would you trust this team, TJ? Again, I'm sitting there shirtless for a quarter and a half, standing up, having to watch my Pittsburgh Steelers. It's not good. I can't even sit down in a seat.
Well, we'll see. So, who do you think who's going to be your offensive player to watch for this game?
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny, this could be his breakout game. I would love to see him start to stack some games now as a starter. I think it would be great.
Dog knows. He knows. He's like
The
Kenny.
dog, I
Kenny.
got the dog
Kenny.
in the middle of the podcast. This is
It's
great.
fine.
Freaking out. So let's flip to the defensive side of the ball. What do you think the defense needs to do? Obviously, we got to stop long hair Lawrence, right?
Yes. You got to get some pressure on him. I'm getting the thing that gets me extremely nervous about this game, and I know his knee's banged up. I have visions of, I remember seeing them when they played Herbert last year. Herbert running on them a bunch. And that's what gets me nervous about Lawrence. Him taking off and getting 15-yard clips or having back-breaking drive continuer. So they got to keep him in the pocket and like hopefully let him do some stuff. But I don't know. Because this game they can give up 200 yards running or they can give up 500 yards passing. Either one would not surprise me in one iota.
I agree. I think what's helped this year, and you mentioned this too, is I think we just have a much better inside linebacking core, which is good. And I'll tell you what too, man, that Herbig, the Herbig, the outside linebacker Herbig, he was a great draft pick.
Yeah, he's
He
good.
ain't the biggest kid, but boy, is he fast. I think he had his first sack this week.
Yeah.
There is no, I mean, you don't lose a whole lot of drop off when you have him and Gold in there, which is amazing to me.
Did you find it weird? And this is just a weird thing today. And I don't think he's going to play. That Cam Hayward was listed on the practice as a full participant today. Did you just find that like yesterday he started, he was limited. Today he was full. Did you find that weird a little bit? Like, holy crap, maybe somewhere going, holy crap, Cam Hayward's playing. I don't
Maybe.
think it's going to happen, but if he does,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and maybe he'll be on a
TJ,
pitch count. Maybe he'll be in on a pitch count. I don't know.
yeah, you understand how big that is
Oh, it's
for?
huge.
I mean,
Dude,
it's insanely big.
it is. See, when you lose a guy like Cam and Deontay, I mean, and it's funny to me. And again, don't get me wrong. I don't like the Steelers' offensive coordinator. I don't like their offensive scheme. But you can't deny that that we are a different team without Deontay Johnson. I
I
don't know why
agree.
we don't bring that. It's almost like last year, like people like, oh, you know of what? Like it's not that big of a deal. He's probably the best defensive player in football. It's a big deal when
Yeah.
you don't have him on the field. To me, it's mind blowing. So when you look at defense, then I mean, you're right. It's a pick your poison. They got to shut the run down, but you got to stop Lawrence too. I mean, he's young enough. You could probably mess with him a little bit, and you know he's huge. He's like what 6'6" or something like that.
He,
Who
he,
do you,
if you want, you know who he looks like? He looks like a giant. He looks exactly like the Avatar people.
he does.
That's what he does. He looks
He
like an
does.
Avatar,
He does. So
pink and blue, and that's who I would think be running through like an Avatar run through the field.
so who is your defensive player to watch?
I finally think this week Minka's going to get one.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get a turnover. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think he's going to get a turnover. I think he's going to do something jaw dropping this week.
I think so. I'm going to go. I'm not going with one guy. I think we're going to have a collective thing. I don't know why. I feel like the secondary is going to do enough to make Lawrence hold the ball just a little bit too long. And I think our outside linebackers this week are going to have a field day. I'm going to predict 5 sacks.
It's a lot of sacks, man.
I don't know why.
I just think Trevor Lawrence gets the ball. He gets the ball out too fast. I know you said, but he's bringing the ball out super fast the past couple weeks for him to get 5 sacks.
Yeah, I think they're going to confuse him a little bit. They're going to get in his head a little bit, and then I mean, he's big, which is a challenge because I mean, hurting him is not easy, but he's big. So give me a score. What's your score prediction for the game?
I think it's gonna be a close game. Still think the Steelers are going to lose 24-20.
That is a close game. I think in close games, I think the Steelers have a better chance to win than for the blowouts.
Let me put it this way. It's going to be, when I say 24-20, it's just going to be the Steelers rallying late because Jacksonville's going to be up by the score is going to look close. I don't think the game's visually going to be close. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I think this is going to be a breakout game for Kenny Pickett. I'm going to say the Steelers are going to win 31-24.
You're insane. 31 points. You're insane.
I think I'll make one more prediction. I think not only are they going to score 31 points, I think this game Kenny goes over 300.
I think Kenny can go over 300 because I think they're going to be losing. But this 31 points is TJ. We haven't seen 31 points in. I'm talking years.
I know. This
years.
Is it. I think this is it. And are you ready for this too? Here's my last prediction. Deontay's going to break his touchdown drought. He's going to get one this week. I think he'll get one. Pickens will get 2, and we'll get another one from the ground, and Bozzie will kick one.
See, I mean, you're going way out on limbs right now. This is like me.
This is like going to be you possibly shirtless in the Panther Dame game.
TJ, and I thought about it. If somehow that happens and they win, like doing a live video, so everybody, this person, the Yinzer brother,
you got to do it. You should do it.
But I don't know if I'll be able to get it. I don't know if I get that stadium alive.
That's okay. Well, Tim, if you're shirtless, nobody knows who you're rooting for.
TJ, those white Irish drunks in that stadium, they're not going to care. They're not going to care.
All right. Well, Tim, you got anything else to add for the podcast today?
No, man. I get my hopes up. It's been like this every weekend. It's like I wait and I'm like, okay, week's done. And then Steeler game, I thinking, I can't wait for Sunday. And I sit there and it's just, I never been so miserable watching football in my life.
We just need one where it's just a blowout where we can just sit back and go, all right.
That's all I want. I just want one I can kick my feet up from start to finish and go, let me go eat some of this. Let me go eat some of this coconut cream pie and just be happy for one time in my life.
Well, maybe this is the one. Well, don't forget, if you like what you're listening to, pass along to your friends and your neighbors, everybody. Again, we're the Yinzer Bros. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
But before we had this, I want to say one thing too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We did have a new guy that I saw a comment asking about a real question before we sign off. And it was a good one, truthfully.
Yeah.
We see any correlation between how the Pittsburgh Steelers are ran and the Pittsburgh Pirates are ran? that they're just in it to make money and that's it.
I think the Steelers are more apt to open the coffers than than the Pirates. I think I mean I think the fundamental difference is this. I would love to see baseball with a salary cap rather than the collective bargaining agreement. I think that's just garbage. If you want parity and you want people to get in every year. Now, again, it didn't work out this year for the Mets and some of the other massive
Yep.
teams. But no, I don't. I don't think. I think Rooney. You know what I'd like to see him do? I'd like to see them spend more money on coaching and assistants.
Yes.
I don't think they spend enough money there, but I think they spend plenty on players.
I think they have to spend. I mean, everybody spends usually up to the cap besides the Chicago Bears, and that's just like a wash, rinse, repeat thing every year. Um, but majority of teams spend up to their money on the cap because there is a cap. But the mentality of the franchises, I kind of get it because, like you said, the stuff that you could spend more money on that's not associated with the cap, the Steelers don't do.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
there may be a point there. By the way, this kid in Chicago, was he like a Division II kid or something now that's got at the helm of Chicago?
No, I have people out here think he's the next one too. TJ, it's again, I should buy everybody out here in Chicago the same shirt that says wash, rinse, repeat, because that's what it is every year. Every 3 years, wash, rinse, repeat. I hear this every 3 years. We got high draft picks, we got all this cap money, and we got a new GM. And I go, are we just gonna keep beating our head over the walls with this all the time? It's the same thing. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
They're not very
I
good.
sit here and I laugh. I'm like, this just makes me jolly and happy.
That's good. It should. All right, we're the Yinzer Bros. We'll see you next time. Stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Still number one out here, right?
See you guys.